And this edition of the TV-46 High School Basketball Game of the Week being brought to you by the Jordan Automotive Group. Simple, easy, stress-free. Welcome back inside Alumni Gym in South Bend as we get you ready for Northwood and St. Joe in this non-conference matchup. Time now to look at our keys to win here on the St. Joseph County Police Department pregame show. And they're brought to you by the Jordan Automotive Group. The Northwood Panthers are led by seniors, and their two largest scorers, Cade Brenner, one of the top 5 scorers in school history, a 6'3" senior, averaging about 18.5 and 4.5 rebounds a game. And he usually lights it up on TV-46. Meanwhile, he gets help from Ian Rosh, the 6'6" senior, just playing with a lot more confidence this year. 15 points, 5 rebounds a game. He's even stroking some three-pointers at about a 40% rate. He's doing a little bit of everything for Aaron Wolf's team. The keys to win for Coach Wolf and his Panthers.
The keys to win tonight for the Panthers, they need to control the boards. They definitely have the size advantage, but they still need to make sure they control those boards and put a body on somebody. Play transition defense. They need to make sure they get back because St. Joe is on a run and try to get up the floor, and they need to shadow the scorers. Make sure they always know where the scores are for sure.
Aaron Wolf talked about the St. Joe Indians when I chatted with him moments ago.
They've got capable scorers. I think they've got great quickness. I think that they play well together. I think they're coming off of a great win. So you're looking at, looks like maybe a young team that's starting to put everything together, which makes it a great challenge.
St. Joe, as we mentioned in the open, their top scorers are 2 sophomores and a junior. Let's talk about those sophomores. One of them, a very familiar name for Michiana basketball fans, Chase Konechny, part of that Konechny family tree, Nicole, JR. Well, Chase is a 6'4" sophomore. He's averaging 20 points and 7 rebounds a game. And he'll get some help from Brayshawn Woods, a 6'2" sophomore, averaging 11.5 points and 4 rebounds a game. He had a career-high 17 against Riley, but he's not a flash in the pan. He had 15 in the win over John Glenn on Friday night. The keys to win for Eric Gaff and the Indians.
The keys to win tonight for the Indians, they need to make sure they treat every possession like gold. Take care of that basketball, and they need quality over quantity on their shots. They need to make sure they make that extra pass and get that quality shot and keep them out of the middle. They cannot let Northwood score in the paint tonight. Eric Gaff talking about the Northwood Panthers.
Well, number one, they're so well balanced and they have inside-outside scoring threats. They play well together, and it doesn't seem like one guy's trying to do it all. They're just trying to find someone else to get the shot, and it's just the unselfishness that stands out to me.
The table's been set with the keys to win, brought to you by the Jordan Automotive Group on the St. Joe County Police Department pregame show. All we've got to do is give you the starting lineups, and we can tip it up in our primetime showcase, Northwood and St. Joe on 46.
Friends, welcome to alumni Jim at St. Joseph High School for the next game between the NorthWood Panthers and your St. Joseph Indians. We ask all attendants now to please rise and give your attention to the scores table, where as we do in all things at St. Joseph High School, we begin our evening in prayer. Tonight's prayer will be offered by school chaplain, Father Jeff.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Heavenly Father, we give you thanks and praise this night for the gift of our lives, the gift of our faith, and the gift of your presence of the Son, Jesus Christ, among us. We ask your blessing upon this athletic competition tonight. Bless our players, our coaches, our fans, and our officials. Fill our athletes with courage and perseverance and strength, and may everything be done for your glory. We ask all this through Christ our Lord. Amen. Saint Joseph, pray for us. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Please remain standing for playing the national anthem of the United States of America.
And this edition of the 46th Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Intera Credit Union. Excellence, integrity, and invested. PA announcer Mike McCarthy announcing the starting lineups for the fans. You don't have to listen to him. You can hear Bo Hunt.
Starting lineup first for the visiting team on the scoreboard, the NorthWood Panthers. The coach's son, number 0, Ethan Wood, 5'11", junior, averaging 8 a game. Number 2, Ian Rush, 6'6", senior, averaging 15 a game. Number 3, Cade Brenner, 6'3", senior, averaging 18 a game. Number 22, the brother of Ian, Tyler Rush, the 6'8", sophomore, averaging 10.5 a game. And number 31, our student athlete, Brock Bruntrager, the 6'2", senior, averaging 4 a game. And for the St. Joe Indians, their starting lineup tonight, number 10, Gabe Nani, the 5'11", senior. Number 14, Jerry Barca, the 5'11", junior. And number 20, Chase Knesny, the 6'4", sophomore, averaging 20 and 6 a game. Number 24, going to Notre Dame on a baseball scholarship, Jace Lee, the 6'4", junior, averaging 11 a game. And number 32, Brayshawn Wood, the 6'2", sophomore, averaging 11 a game.
The officials for tonight's game, we've got Ian Bossert, Mark Kenyon, and Tim Stem working tonight. Mark, a veteran official, Ian and Tim a little bit more on the new side. That's great to see because we're always looking for new officials. The series history goes back to 2003. NorthWood leads at 7-4. A year ago down in the Panther pit, they exploded in the second half and won by 19.
So get ready for the opening tip, sponsored by Yoder Stutzman Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. Here's a check on your uniforms for tonight's game, brought to you by St. Andrews Products. The home team, the St. Joe Indians, wearing the white jersey shorts, blue numbers and letters, and black trim. The NorthWood Panthers, black jerseys and shorts, white numbers and letters, and red trim. These teams look great, and so can your team. For the finest in apparel promotional products, contact St. Andrews Products at sales@standrewscorp.com.
Cade Brenner missed the first shot of the game. This is Brayshawn Woods for the St. Joe Indians to Chase Konechny. The wing jumper is pure, and the Indians grab the 2-0 lead. Konechny averaging 20 points a game. His brother JR plays at Notre Dame. His sister Nicole was a state champ here at St. Joe. Ethan Wolf for the 11-2 Northwood Panthers. And Wolf the point guard on this team. And the three by Cade Brenner finds a home. And the Panthers jump out to an early 1-point lead. Brenner averaging over 18 points a game. Brayshawn Woods. This is Jace Lee, explosive to the hole. It's stripped from him though, and to the loose ball goes Northwood. Ian Rosh past Konechny for two. And Northwood being very aggressive in the early going. Out to the 5-2 lead.
One thing Ian's really worked on is being able to go to the hole a lot stronger. Just a great job of there really getting up there into the hoop.
Lee drives on Bontrager, but misses on the baseline. And the rebound to Tyler Rosh, who did not have to stretch too far to go high for it.
To get this first quarter going, we want to thank our sponsor for the first quarter, Lori Sumter with Phil Hahn and Associates.
Rosh working on Konechny. Bodies him up, backs him down, but Nani got in there and stripped it away. Gabe Nani running things from the team point, and he leads this team in assists. Brayshawn Woods up with the left hand, no good, and Rosh helped Wolf control the rebound.
You can already see the size of Tyler taking advantage of that inside.
Brenner has that one spin out on him. We played 2.5 action-packed minutes, and Northwood leads at 5-2. Konechny looking for a screen from Brayshawn Woods. Konechny driving on Tyler Rosh. Couldn't get it to go, and Ian Rosh with the rebound. Ahead to Brock Bontrager. He finds the cutting Rosh for the bucket. And it's 7-2.
That was just a nice, really give and go there. He got it down to Bontrager. Bontrager got tied up, and Ian just followed the pass, which is a great job of filling that lane.
Northwood really has some good basketball IQ on this team, and they have an understanding of when to make cuts. Nani trying to work around Brenner. Good dish to Brayshawn Woods, who got his man up. Couldn't get the shot to go, but he'll go to the line for free throws. You'll get another look at this on the R&B Car Company replay. And a beautiful head and shoulder fake here by Brayshawn Woods. Got Tyler Rosh up.
Yeah, just a nice inlet pass to Woods as well. Good little shot fake. Got to get those shot fakes when you got 6'8", 6'9" guys in there.
Also have to take advantage and make the free throws. As Bontrager checks out, J.J. Payne checks in for Northwood. Brayshawn Woods, a 76% free throw shooter on the year, but he missed both of those. Northwood already up by 5. They try to double team Ethan Wolf, and it goes off Nani's foot and out of bounds. There you see Eric Gaff, the second-year head coach of the St. Joe Indians. He was assistant under Mark Johnson, went to Concord High School and then to Grace College to play. Cade Brenner outside for Northwood. Brenner off the give and go. Looks underneath, and there's Tyler Rosh for two. That can be there all night for Northwood. Seven-point lead for the Panthers early. Nani trying to drive on Rosh. Good luck. Brayshawn Woods, and he got bodied up a little too much by Ian Rosh, the first on the older brother.
St. Joe High School provides an award-winning, affordable Catholic education that prepares students for both college and career. Thanks to your school choice expansion, tuition is more affordable than ever. Learn more at www.stjoehigh.com.
Lee handles the inbounds pass as he goes to work on J.J. Payne. Brayshawn Woods, nice hesitation move, and he drives and gets the bucket in the bump. And he draws the second foul on young Tyler Rosh, and you're going to get another look here from R&B Car Company. A beautiful hesitation move by Woods got him to the other side of the basket.
Yeah, the good thing about Northwood is they do have somewhat of a deep bench. They go 6, 7 deep where they're comfortable with those guys coming in there and filling those roles. A lot of times you get that 6, 7, 8th guy, you don't feel as comfortable with those guys in there.
Bontrager checks back in as Woods gets the old-fashioned three-point play and cuts the deficit to 4 midway through the first. The other thing about this Northwood team, and I think you'll see it as the game goes along, everybody handles the ball pretty well. This is Keegan Stats with the majestic beard, number 30. Ian Rosh thought about the three. Instead gets it outside to Brenner. Jerry Barca drawing that assignment right now. Brenner goes around Barca with the right hand, couldn't score, and Brayshawn Woods with the rebound. Konechny in transition, forces up a tough shot, but he's fouled by J.J. Payne. And Chase Konechny will go to the line for 2 after you get another look here from R&B Car Company. You have to imagine that young man's played against pretty good competition just on the driveway.
Yeah, definitely has, that's for sure. Interesting, Northwood with 4 fouls here, team fouls. St. Joe with 0 at this point. We know Northwood is a little bit more of a physical team. Looks like they're just getting out of position a little bit.
We see Braylon White, number 42 for St. Joe, check in, taking the place of Nani as Konechny drains both free throws. And St. Joe creeping back in, trailing 9-7. Wolf finds Ian Rosh, and he draws the foul this time on Konechny. I think some of it is learning how the game is going to be officiated in the opening minutes, too. You want to see how much contact is being allowed, how much isn't. I think Rosh made a good read on that play and said, okay, if I take it inside, take it at Konechny, I can draw some fouls.
Yeah, I think that was the thing. Take it right at him, they can get that contact.
And let's face it, if you're going to try to get anybody from St. Joe in foul trouble, it's that guy. Meanwhile, Brenner misfires on the 3, the rebound controlled by Ian Rosh.
They actually called that last foul on Jace Lee on the reach-in.
That might be a little bit of a break for St. Joe. Here's Brenner. Wolf thought about the 3, but Braylon White was right there. Ian Rosh for 3. Big fella. He has 7 in the early going. I told you he was taking that shot, and he's been making it at a 40% rate, so why not?
Yeah, and he looked very comfortable doing that. You got to be confident when you're taking that three-pointer, especially if it's the first year that you've really worked on it.
Braylon White going to the basket, had it knocked away, but gets it back. Good defense by Brenner that time. Tell you, at 6'6", if Ian Rosh can start hitting that shot, he's going to get a lot of attention from coaches besides Grace College. But that's where he has made his commitment to play as St. Joe turns it over on the drive. (12-7) Northwood as you look at Aaron Wolf in his 16th year on the Panther bench, 264 wins, 8 sectional championships for Wolf. He'll be in a tough sectional this year with West Noble and Tippy Valley included in that quintet. Brenner is open for 3. That's a mistake.
Money every time we do a 46 game of the week with Cade Brenner. He seems to knock down 3 after 3.
And at the other end, St. Joe charges as you'll get another look at the Brenner 3 from R&B Car Company. Jace Lee called for his second foul. And it was a deep 3 by Mr. Brenner. He was barely inside the volleyball line. Now a little 1-2-2 pressure here from St. Joe. Ian Rosh got across the timeline though. Wolf out by the stripe. But Northwood handles it like a veteran bunch. And St. Joe slips back into the 2-3 zone. Ethan Wolf for 3. And the Panthers are lighting it up from beyond the arc. They are 4 of 7 in the early going from three-point range. An 11-point Northwood lead. Barca outside for St. Joe against the switching man-to-man of Northwood. Konechny trying to go to work on Ian Rosh. Good jump stop that time, but Brenner knocked it away with the reach.
I really like this Northwood team. You look how they spread the ball out. I mean, they only have 4 guys in the scoring column here in the first quarter. They have so much confidence in their teammates and the way they play together. It's just amazing. I mean, you see why this is the second-ranked team in the state.
Ian Joyce just checked in for St. Joe. He wears number 30. Konechny finds Brayshawn Woods, who goes strong to the hole but couldn't hit it. And the rebound by Cade Brenner. St. Joe just 2 of 6 shooting here. See if Northwood will hold for the last shot. Cade Brenner to Ethan Wolf. Thought about the foul line jumper. Now needs Brenner to bail him out, and Aaron Wolf calls a new play from the sideline. See the clock on the Intera Credit Union scoreboard. Ian Rosh has to force one. It won't go. And that's the end of an electric first quarter for the Northwood Panthers. Chase Konechny got St. Joe off to a good start with a jumper, but after that, too much Cade Brenner, too much Ian Rosh. Panthers lead at 18-7 as we go to the second on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Bill's Heating, keeping families and businesses comfortable since 1951. Craig Heatherly not with us tonight. He's got a family commitment, so we turn to Bo for our Bill's Heating sideline report. Your thoughts on the first quarter?
St. Joe needs to knock down some shots. Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing right now is they're getting the looks. They're just not knocking them down at this point. First time seeing Northwood this year. We've seen them over the past few years, but really like how Northwood's playing together as a team, and I like the confidence they have this year compared to last year. I thought some of their key players last year lacked a little bit of that confidence, but I see that out here early on in this game.
4 of 7 from three-point range, 6 of 10 overall for Northwood in that first quarter. St. Joe was 2 of 6 from the field. Made some hay at the foul line, but Northwood dominating the boards as well. It's been all red and black in the early going as we start number 2, brought to us by Lori Sumter with Phil Hahn and Associates. Brayshawn Woods throws it away.
Yoder Stutzman Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning has been serving Napanee and the surrounding area since 1969. They're committed to what they do and here to serve you for your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. Yoder Stutzman Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, building lasting solutions.
Gabe Nani guarding Ethan Wolf. Ian Rosh finds Wolf for 3. They like this gym. Ethan Wolf with the 5th three-pointer of the first 9 minutes for Northwood. Wolf had been shooting 40% from three-point range, and that number going up tonight. Brayshawn Woods goes in strong for 2 off the glass. I like the body control from the sophomore.
Yeah, he does a good job of really getting inside and using his body and having control at the hoop.
Here's Cade Brenner going right past Barca, gets the tip in on his own miss. Brenner has 8 early.
I mean, that's the thing with Northwood. They can kill you from the outside, but they're not afraid to take it inside on you either.
At a certain point, though, you say, well, 2's less than 3. Nani on the drive, but he was bodied up and fouled by Brock Bontrager, and Gabe Nani will go to the line where he's a 68% free throw shooter.
Wouldn't it be great to work for a company where their employees are the most valuable asset? Well, now's your chance because RushCore is hiring. They have production positions available in a team-driven environment with excellent benefits that include medical, dental, and a 401k. To learn more about joining the RushCore family and a $1,000 sign-on bonus, visit rushcore.com. That's RESCHCOR.com.
Eric Gaff, recently married, stands there on the sideline. Saw his lovely wife before the game. Gabe Nani, all-NIC soccer player, young man that volunteers at Logan with the Best Buddies program, goes 1 of 2 at the stripe. Northwood comfortably up by 13 here early in the second quarter. Ian Rosh finds Ethan Wolf. And Cade Brenner was the beneficiary of a moving screen by Keegan Statz, and so Statz is called for his first foul. A rare Northwood turnover tonight, just their second.
Team 6 for the next one. St. Joe will be going to the line at that point. Maybe that's where they can make up some of these points, is at the line.
They are 4 of 7 from the stripe early on. Chase Konechny getting a lot of attention out there. Nani tries to go into the paint. There's Brayshawn from 15, but it's off the mark, and the rebound to Brenner. Ethan Wolf wide open for 3. 2 open, he missed it, but good rebound by Ian Rosh. So try it again, Ethan, not that time either. But another offensive rebound for Northwood, which has dominated the boards 9-2 to this point. Brenner for 3, yes sir.
My, oh my, he's got such a quick release. Just a great job. Looked like he was going to take that ball and put it on the ground, but just a quick release.
Woods couldn't get the first one to go, and you won't get a second with Northwood around the basket. It has been one and done for the Indians tonight. Brenner. Look at the ball movement here by Northwood. Wolf looking for J.J. Payne on the block, finds the cutting Brenner, and Jerry Barca fouled him.
Yeah, just a great move, coming down the lane, getting the pass into him. You can see here on the R&B Car Company replay, Barca just got his body a little bit too much on that, reached in.
Barca's given up 4 inches and a few pounds, so he'll come out. Braylon White checks back into the game for St. Joe. Rosh going around Konechny, put a little bit of a shoulder into him and got the bucket.
Looked like he got maybe a little step out of that as well.
And a timeout called by Eric Gaff and St. Joe with 4:49 to go in the first half. The R&B Car Company replay shows you one of the reasons Northwood's in command. 28-10, Panthers lead it on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you by the St. Joseph County Police Department. Join the team and help protect and serve our community. Talk about elite company. We mentioned at the top, Cade Brenner, one of the top 5 scorers all time at Northwood High School. He's moving on up. And we talked before the game, the name that surprises us on this list, Skylar Titus. We think about him for football, but he was a good basketball player,
yeah,
too.
Not surprising. I mean, great basketball player, but kind of just shocked that he was number 4 all time on Northwood's list. I mean, just a phenomenal athlete, phenomenal student athlete at Northwood. Just a great kid that we had the pleasure of meeting as he was growing up and covering.
By the way, Brenner with 11 already tonight, as Jace Lee turns and cannot score, and that's Brenner with the rebound. And a great move to the hoop by J.J. Payne.
What a great no-look pass by Brenner. Just a great job of feeding Payne.
Meanwhile, a lob coming this way, and I'll protect the monitor, don't worry.
Here's the R&B Car Company replay. Not of Chuck saving our screen,
no.
But of that no-look pass by Brenner. Great job just feeding Payne.
That could be a candidate for electrical workers' electrifying play of the game tonight. Midway through the first half, Northwood up 20. Brenner, oh my goodness, he took that from Granger.
Feeling it.
Oh, doctor.
Chuck, you mentioned it before the game. Anytime we're doing a Northwood game, Cade Brenner seems to just light it up.
Jace Lee tried to answer, could not. Well, Now you start to watch Brenner and you wonder, okay, how deep will he go? Perhaps that's what they were thinking. Jace Lee misses the dunk. That kind of night for St. Joe. Here's another steal, but it's a palming call against St. Joe.
Northwood being a little sloppy with the basketball here these last 2 possessions.
Well, we'll see if they settle down here with Ethan Wolf at the controls. The coach's son has done a great job as the point guard of this team. He feeds Ian Rosh underneath and retrieves the loose change. Rosh with a baseline drive and scores on Konechny.
Ian with a good job of really driving that baseline, getting body control.
Konechny can't stroke the 3. Rare offensive rebound. Braylon White can't get it to go. And St. Joe is stone cold right now from the field. Just 3 of 13 from 2, 3 of 14 overall. A steal by Konechny, but it's taken right back by Ian Rosh. And a blocking foul called on Braylon White.
Playing at a little bit faster pace than I think Northwood is kind of wanting to play at, which is what St. Joe wants to really speed this up with the pressure and different things like that. Northwood definitely can play at that pace, but they're being a little sloppy with the basketball here. But
Yeah,
again, St. Joe can't knock a bucket down.
It's become a bit chaotic as Trey Place checks into the game for St. Joe. Everybody trying to get their guys a little bit of oxygen right now. Ian Rosh, again, just puts a shoulder into Brayshawn Woods. And you see the physical development of Ian Rosh coming into play here tonight. And one of the reasons that his confidence has grown, he's just become stronger. Ball off the hands of Place and out of bounds.
Imagineering Finishing Technologies brand is globally known as a knowledge source for metal finishing. Like the teams in this game, Imagineering is always working toward a great finish. IFT is a proud supporter of all student athletes.
Rosh checks the clock, and there's still 2:06 to go, first half. Northwood making one of its rare trips into South Bend and enjoying it so far. Wolf unable to hit there, but the rebound to Konechny. Konechny can't get that one to drop either, and Keegan Stats brings down the ricochet. St. Joe has missed its last 8 shots. Brenner ain't missing. He has 17 here in the first half. He is putting on a shooting exhibition.
The one day Craig has a family obligation, he loves to see that three-point shot go down, and he'd love to be sitting here watching Cade Brenner tonight.
Trey Place over to Jerry Barca for 3. That rims out. And the rebound to Northwood. And the Panthers could put this into running clock territory by the time we get to halftime. Brenner, he lost the handle on the way up. Wolf patiently feeds Bontrager underneath for 2. The first basket for Brock Bontrager in tonight's contest. 6 different Panthers are on the board.
Yeah, just another way for these Panthers to contribute with other guys.
Brayshawn Woods rainbows in the shot. He has 7 to lead St. Joe. And that ends a long drought for the Indians. Ethan Wolf will handle it up top. Looks like Northwood may play for the last shot here of the first half. Rosh outside. See if Brenner makes a cut to get the ball. Rosh was fouled by Brayshawn Woods. First on Brayshawn, just the 5th on St. Joe. 3 seconds left in the half. Who's going to trigger the inbound here? It'll be Wolf. Wolf looking for Rosh, and it gets tipped away by Barca. His half-court shot is sent into the bleachers by Brenner, and what an impressive first half by the Northwood Panthers, particularly that young man, number 3. Look how far he is beyond the arc on these three-point shots within the 4.6530 of Granger, I believe. Northwood by 30 on St. Joe. Tony Letcher, Health Market Student Athletes are next on 46. We are at halftime at Alumni Gym in South Bend. Time to meet our Student Athletes of the Week. It's a feature brought to us by our friend Tony Letcher with Health Markets. 2 outstanding basketball players and outstanding representatives of these schools. Brock Bontrager hails from Northwood. Chase Konechny is from St. Joe. We always start with the visitors first. Of course, you've seen Brock in this first half, a member of this Northwood basketball team. What you don't know is the great job that he's doing in the classroom. And I know from talking to Coach Wolf before the game, the hours of commitment you guys put in. So how do you balance all of that with what you're doing in the classroom?
Well, I just try to focus where I'm at when I can, live in the present. So when I'm at school, I try to focus with my schoolwork, and when I'm at basketball, I try to focus on basketball. And then after, I try to get all my homework done early so I can rest up for basketball the next day.
I had the pleasure of watching you practice yesterday, man. You set a lot of screens and you do a lot of the little things. Is that kind of your role on this team?
Absolutely. I try to do the things that are hard. I try to take some charges, guard the ball, get some rebounds, and I'll score occasionally, but normally what I'm trying to do is the tough stuff.
Because if they were easy, Kate or Ian would be doing. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Hey, somebody obviously put those kind of values in you, and you've had some great coaches, but who else has made an impact on your life growing up?
Oh, both my parents and my grandparents. They've all been pushing me. They've been coming to AAU tournaments and just financially supporting me and just doing whatever they can to be good impacts on my life, and I couldn't thank them enough.
In the final semester of your senior year, what looms for you once you graduate from Northwood High School?
Well, I plan to attend college somewhere in Indiana. I plan to study finance and hopefully get a good job out of that.
What made you decide to want to go into that career?
Well, it's just something that I like. I've taken some classes at Northwood, and it's just an interest of mine.
Best of luck to you in the future.
All right,
That's
thank you.
Brock Bontrager from Northwood High School. Over here we have Chase Konechny, only a sophomore, but doing a heck of a job at St. Joe, both in the classroom and on the basketball court, where he's the leading scorer for the St. Joe basketball team. But again, the time commitment for basketball is immense, and yet you have to get the job done in the classroom too. How do you balance all that?
I think St. Joe has taught me time management. There's been days where I come home, have a lot of homework, and it's been hard to balance, basketball and athletics, but time management has really helped me out with those two.
It probably also helps to have had a brother and a sister both go through St. Joe and play basketball ahead of time. What kind of influence have they been for you, and do you go to them for advice? Do they come to you for advice?
I've been very fortunate to have, JR played D1 basketball, my sister played D1 basketball. Whenever I have a question, I just go to them and they answer.
And besides them, who else has made such an impact on your life here?
Oh, my parents definitely, I'm very fortunate to have my parents supporting me for whatever I do.
Now, you've got a couple of years left here, so let's not talk about your academic future so much as this basketball team's future. 7-6 coming in tonight. Where do you see this team going the rest of the season?
I see this team making a big jump. We've been having great practices recently, having a lot of energy, competing a lot. So I see this team really taking a jump.
And even though you're a sophomore, do you see yourself as a leader on this team?
Yeah, my teammates voted me as a captain for a reason, so I need to, bring energy to the floor.
Best of luck to you and the rest of the Indians.
Thank you.
That's Chase Konechny from St. Joseph High School. Brock Bontrager from Northwood. There are Student Athletes of the Week. Feature brought to us by Tony Letcher and Health Market. Stick around. We've got halftime highlights and stats as the 46 game of the week rolls on from South Bend. Halftime at Alumni Gym, and the place cooling off a little bit after a red-hot showing by Northwood in the first half, leading 42-12 here at the intermission. Welcome inside the Martin Supermarket broadcast booth. Chuck Freeby and Bo Hunt courtside tonight, and man, what an exhibition by Northwood. If you had any question as to why they're ranked as high in 3A, woo, we're seeing why.
Well, we knew coming in that they were going to be a very talented team into this year, not just this game.
Yeah.
And they're showing it tonight, just the leadership that they have, the versatility they have. And we talked about how more physical they've become and how much stronger they've become on the inside.
So let's show you how it got to be this way. Not a whole lot of surprises in this highlight package. Chase Konechny gave St. Joe a 2-0 lead, and after that, the spark was lit. Cade Brenner started firing from deep in Alumni Gym, and he'd have some help in this one because Ian Rosh was able to go inside, and then Rosh was able to go outside and score. He had 13 points in the first half, but it was Brenner who was dialing long distance. He hit 4 threes in that first half. Ethan Wolf even made it rain a couple of times from outside, but Brenner closed the half with a pair of bombs. 17 points in the first half, and Northwood leads at 42-12. The stat sheet couldn't be more dominant or lopsided towards Northwood.
I mean, you just look at all those stats down the line, every single one. Field goal percentage, tripled them up. Three-pointers, 0 for 3, 9 of 15. Free throws, yeah, St. Joe got to the line, but only 4 or 7. The rebounding aspect of this game, we knew that Northwood was going to have a size advantage in this game, but to out-rebound them 15-4 and be able to shoot the way they're shooting tonight, there's no wonder they have a 30-point lead at halftime.
Bigger, faster, stronger is awfully tough to defend, and that's what you're seeing from this Northwood team tonight. 42-12 at the intermission. Second half play-by-play from Alumni Gym in South Bend comes your way after this on 46. And this edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Imagineering Finishing Technologies. IFT, where quality is a way of life. So some other scores from around the area for those watching on the internet. This isn't going to make a whole lot of sense for our TV audience, but that's okay. Halftime, Concord leads Elkhart 29-24. Marion and Culver Academy are tied at 14 at the half. Ooh. So Mark Galloway has taken that and made it a low-scoring game, kind of what we saw in the regional championship last year. We do have a final to give you as Tri-Township beat Westville tonight 45-33. That's in the Porter County Conference Tournament. And let's see if we can talk about our next game on TV-46, because that Marion team locked up with CMA tonight has a really difficult task. They have to go to the Palace and beat number 2 Penn at their place.
A lot of ranked teams that we're seeing this week and a lot of high-quality basketball as well.
So that's our next game on TV-46, Marion and Penn. Second half of this one starts shortly. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you by HealthLink, your community health center. Normally at this point, I would be badgering Craig Heatherly about halftime adjustments maybe you picked a good night to be off. 30 points down. What do you tell your team if you're Eric Gaff?
I think the biggest thing at this point, you have to compete and do not give up 35. Do not get down by 35 points. I think that's the biggest thing right now. Right now, they're up 5-0 at this point. You cannot give up more than 5 points without scoring at this point. I mean, plain and simple, you have to go out there and you have to compete.
NorthWood starts the third quarter, sponsored by Lori Sumter with Phil Hahn and Associates with the basketball and a 30-point lead. Brock Bontrager outside for the Panthers. Cade Brenner with a very athletic cut there, but they decide to go on the other side, and it's knocked out of bounds by Chase Konechny.
Trying to feed Tyler in the paint a little bit. Konechny just did a great job of fronting that.
One thing Aaron Wolf talked to his team about a lot at practice yesterday was don't jog through cuts. You've got to run through cuts hard, and man, have we seen guys do that tonight. Tyler Roche had foul trouble in that first half. Gets it outside to his brother Ian, who spins, can't hit, but got his own rebound and put it in. 15 tonight for Ian Roche.
Wow, he's just a different player than he was last year. I mean, by far, you can see the confidence that he has, the ability to take it to the hole. And not just take it to the hole, but take it to the hole strong with body control.
And Konechny throws it away. Here comes Cade Brenner working one-on-one. Couldn't get it to go, but Roche is there for another rebound. He's just cleaning up on the boards, and now it's into the danger zone for the Indians, where that clock will be running unless they can hold down the score. Konechny driving, scoops it up and in. Nice move that time by Chase, who has 6. He only scored 9 last year in the game against NorthWood. He's been in double figures in every game but one this season. Nearly a steal by Lee. Instead, Wolf for the 35, got it. And the clock will run. Blocked away by Tyler Roche.
Here to protect and serve our community, St. Joe County Police Department is hiring immediately. Employment opportunities for high school graduates are available, and they offer a host of benefits and a true family environment on their team. Learn more at sjcindiana.com/employment.
Tyler Roche winds up throwing it off the head of a St. Joe player, Nani. And here comes NorthWood. Ian Roche, what a shot. Ian Roche with 6 here in the quarter, 19 for the game, and a steal by Ian Roche. Look out! Stripped away by Nani and out of bounds. They're going to call a foul on Gabe Nani.
This game's health tip is brought to you by HealthLink. Healthy kids are better students and better athletes. Schedule your child's annual checkup at HealthLink today. HealthLink offers medical, dental, vision, and more, regardless of your ability to pay.
Tony Beltran ducking out of the way of that basketball as it came his way, as Ian Roche hits the first free throw. Roche, a 71% free throw shooter. He was on the Hall of Fame tournament team. Knocks them both down. He leads the Panthers with 21 tonight. Roche and Brenner, boy, that is a dynamite duo for this NorthWood team, but they've got so many other pieces as well.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, they got so many other pieces to go with this, with Tyler Roche, Ethan Wolf, Bontrager. I mean, you got guys that come off the bench with Payne, able to give you stuff. Stats able to give you some minutes as well.
Brayshawn Woods had the basket there for St. Joe, but look at the feed from Brenner. Tyler Roche misses, but Brock Bontrager is there as NorthWood is getting every ricochet off the rim tonight. Nani to a deep Konechny for 3. Yes, sir. Chase finds the range from beyond the arc. He has 9 now. Ian Roche trying to drive by Brayshawn Woods. Tyler Roche trying to post up against Chase Konechny. Tyler's got him on his hip. Backs him down and lost the handle. St. Joe with numbers the other way. Brayshawn Woods was fouled on the way up, and he'll go to the line for 2.
St. Joe High School provides an award-winning, affordable Catholic education that prepares students for both college and career. Thanks to the school choice expansion, tuition is more affordable than ever. Learn more at www.stjoehigh.com.
So Brayshawn Woods with the free throw. J.J. Payne checking back in for Northwood. Brayshawn now with 10. Second one's missed, and the rebound to Tyler Rosh. Northwood will go 12-2 with the win tonight. They've got the Redhawks of Goshen on Friday, who surprised Warsaw last week. Deacon Hill came up with a game-winning three to give Goshen the win in that one. And a whistle and a held ball. And we'll take our TCU trivia question right now. We want to know, talked about the Konechny's throughout this game, but what area group of siblings has combined for the most points? We'll give you the answer momentarily. Boy, there are some pretty good brother-sister groups in this area.
Yep. It's not just have to play during the same era or anything like that. It's just siblings in general.
Here's a layup by Brayshawn Woods. He got the bucket and the bump.
Or schools, in that matter of fact.
In fact, let's answer that TCU trivia question. Represented here at St. Joe High School by at least 3 of the siblings. Now over at Marion, it's the Sullivan family. And actually, I forgot about Paxson. So this total is 87 points short. It should be 5,474. And we have no idea how many the Sullivans have in that game against Culver Academy tonight.
Well, there was only 14 and a half, so there's not a whole lot.
Ian Rosh with a 5-second violation. Good defense. We'll take a break. 2:43 to go, third quarter. Northwood in command on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you by TCU. Discover better banking at TCU. Reminder, college basketball on the radio Thursday night. We'll split our frequencies on Pulse FM at 7 o'clock. Purdue, after that thrilling win over Michigan State on Martin Luther King Day, goes to Minnesota and takes on the Golden Gophers. That's on 92.1 and 96.9. Over on 103.1, it's Indiana at Illinois. Hoosiers looked awfully good against Wisconsin over the weekend. Can they keep that up as they go into Champaign on Thursday night? 2.5 to go, third quarter of this one. Northwood has been in command of this since the early minutes. Jace Lee tried to kick it outside, and it's stolen away by Brenner. And the nice pass from Wolf to Rosh for 2 more. That's just playing together for years.
Yeah, that's just knowing where everybody's on the floor, how they're getting up and down the floor.
And Konechny with an N1 at the other end. He and Brayshawn Woods have all but one of the St. Joe points.
Trying to look at Ian's career high, and
Rosh with 23. I think that is his career high.
Yeah.
Well, I got to check some numbers from this year, so hang on just a second. As you see Chase Konechny go to the foul line.
Yoder Stutzman Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning has been serving Napanee and the surrounding area since 1969. They're committed to what they do and are here to serve you for their plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. Yoder Stutzman Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, building lasting solutions.
Ball goes down low to J.J. Payne. Bontrager couldn't quite score. Rosh gets another rebound but lost the handle, and here comes St. Joe with numbers. Jace Lee had it taken away by Wolf. It goes out of bounds to St. Joe.
Looks like they'll call a jump ball on that.
Well, if that's the case, the possession arrow goes to Northwood as you get another look from R&B Car Company replay.
Yeah, just a great job of Wolf getting down the floor, grabbing hold of that. As soon as he brought it down, as soon as Jace Lee brought that ball down, Ethan was able to grab a hold of that ball, and they called jump ball.
Cade Brenner going to work on Jerry Barca. Brenner puts it up and in for 2. 19 for Brenner tonight. St. Joe outside. This is Nani for 3. Yes, sir.
Hey, Nani, big three-pointer for him.
Just his 4th three-pointer of the season. Ethan Wolf finds Ian Rosh. And Rosh does save it from going out of bounds, but had it knocked away from behind. And that will do it for the 3rd quarter of play from Alumni Gym in South Bend, where once again the Northwood Panthers are flexing their muscles as the state's #2 ranked team. Ethan Wolf and the Panthers in command in this one, leading 59-28 after 3 on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by the electrical workers of Local 153. They're making our communities brighter since 1914.
Hey, wouldn't it be great to work for a company where their employees are the most valuable asset? Well, now's your chance because RushCore is hiring. They have production positions available in a team-driven environment with excellent benefits that include medical, dental, and a 401k. To learn more about joining the RushCore family and a $1,000 sign-on bonus, visit rushcore.com. That's RESCHCOR.com.
Now we know Ethan Rosh had 25 in the win over North Davies in the Hall of Fame tournament, and he has 23 tonight, so still working on trying to get that career high. By the way, our 4th quarter being brought to us by Lori Sumter with Phil Hahn and Associates. As you look at Cade Brenner coming off that Northwood bench, he's had a nice night tonight with 19 points. But it was Rosh who carried the day there in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, big first halves by both of them. Brenner with just the big three-pointers as well in that first half, but Ian just a phenomenal 3rd quarter.
Jace Lee buries the 3. Lee with his 21st three-pointer of the season. But Northwood in firm command of this one. They've got 2 young men, and Rosh and Brenner, who are headed to the Crossroads League next year. Brenner will play at Huntington University, and Rosh will play at Grace College. J.J. Payne handles it up top for the Panthers and threw it away.
Imagineering Finishing Technologies brand is globally known as the knowledge source for metal finishing. Like the teams in this game, Imagineering is always working toward a great finish, and IFT is a proud supporter of all student athletes.
Gabe Nani brings it across. It's Brayshawn Woods, who's had a nice night tonight with 12 points, and we've got a moving screen called on Jace Lee. Lee with his 3rd. You mentioned earlier, a young man that's committed to go play baseball for Sean Stifler at the University of Notre Dame.
Yeah, just an excellent athlete. Had a walk-off home run in the sectional semifinal last year against the Marion Knights.
One of the biggest home runs we've seen in these parts in tournament time. He had a home run against Northwood last year too, but the basketball team getting its revenge here tonight. Brayshawn Woods with a good move there. Lee for 3. Yes, sir. So a couple of triples for Jace Lee. How appropriate for the baseball player. 25 points now the margin. Brenner working with the left hand. Ethan Wolf handles it up top. You mentioned at the start of the second half, St. Joe needs to compete here in the second half. They've done that.
Yeah.
As Ethan Wolf hits the three.
No, I think they've actually gotten a little bit more aggressive here in the second half on the defensive side of the ball. And they've really done a good job of really pressuring Northwood, I think, in the second half.
Lee can't hit that one.
The thing is, when Northwood's shooting close to 70% for the game, I mean, it's hard to do anything against that. And you're only shooting about 25%.
Nani and Wolf got tangled up. There was a whistle, and who's the foul on? It's on Ethan Wolf. So that's the first on Ethan. Clock continues to run in a 62-34 game. Nani will handle it up top for the Tribe, who will fall to 7-7. All their wins have been to teams over 500. Or excuse me, all their losses have been against teams who are over 500. And they're getting into a tough part of the schedule as you get another look at this one on the R&B Car Company replay. A week from tonight, St. Joe faces Penn. Remember, we told you at the top of the broadcast, St. Joe is undefeated in conference play. So that looms as a big game, but to be honest, there's nothing you've seen here tonight that would make you think that St. Joe can go into that game and win.
Well, I mean, there's some talent here. They're young, but they have some talent. They just need to kind of figure it out. And they just ran into a buzzsaw tonight, this Northwood team. The way they shot the ball, the way they played together, the way they handled the press that St. Joe tried to put on them. You can just tell it's just a veteran team, senior-dominated Northwood Panther team.
Barca is called for the foul there, just his second and the third on St. Joe. Renner will handle it up top. Now Ethan Wolf needs some help. Here's Brenner going into the lane, got hammered on the way in, no call, but he scores anyway. 21 for Cade Brenner. It's a 29-point Panther lead. Brayshawn Woods' topside triple is off the mark. The rebound to Bontrager. As we approach 3 minutes left in this one. One that has truly been a fait accompli since midway through the second quarter. Bontrager whipped it over his head a little too high for Ian Rosh. And Lee comes down and scores the layup. Jace with 8.
Jace with a nice fourth quarter here. 8 points here to lead the St. Joe Indians in the second half.
They go down low. Tyler Rosh on the block, tries to feed the cutter. Gets the layup underneath with Brock Bontrager. Bontrager now with 6. He's coming off a career high 11 against Goshen last season. Getting ready for the Redhawks on Friday night. Lee misfires on that one. And Wolf will walk it up the court as both teams get ready to empty the benches.
They've been trying to empty the bench for the last 2.5 minutes on the play clock.
Moving screen, we'll take a break with 2:01 to go. As Northwood and St. Joe, Panthers have it by 29. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week brought to you in part by the Indiana High School Athletic Association, partnering with TV-46 for over 30 years. Braylon White handles it up top for St. Joe. And they get the ball over to Tyler Brown, a young man who has recovered from a gunshot wound to the head a couple of years ago. Brady Mansfield missing on the 3. Ahead to Camden Ransberger, but he can't hang on to it. And it goes out of bounds to Northwood. Boy, Brown's story is just so amazing. Number 34 out there in white. recovered from a week-long coma after the gunshot wound, FaceTimed Eric Gaff and said, "Coach, I want to come back to the team." He had part of his skull removed, wasn't supposed to walk again, and he's out here playing basketball.
And it wasn't like this was 5, 6, 7 years ago. This was just recently he's recovered from that, and it's just a quick recovery. And for him to be out there this quick and to be able to compete at this level is just awesome.
And he just brings such energy to St. Joe's practices. Really an inspirational young man to be around. Ransberger handles it outside for Northwood. Stolen away by Mansfield, but knocked out of bounds, and that clock will continue to run. St. Joe may be able to crank off one last shot here, but a dominating performance by the Northwood Panthers tonight as they will triumph over the St. Joe Indians. The only question is the final score. Brown can't get a shot off, and the ball game is all over. The Northwood Panthers have beaten St. Joseph by the count of 66-37. Stick around, a lot to talk about on the St. Joe County Police Department post-game show, including our player of the game and electrifying play of the game. It comes your way next on 46.
Three, two, one. Stand by with player of the game, Ian Rosh. Ian, 23 tonight. Just talk about this victory and the Northwood Panthers tonight in this victory.
Yeah, well, we knew coming in that St. Joe was a tough opponent. We had to bring our A game, and that's what we did. We prepared well for them. In practice, we were just focused. And then we came out here, had high energy, and played as a team. And, yeah.
You guys coming into this season, we knew you guys would be a great team. You guys are ranked second at this point. But we noticed the difference as commentators from last year. You guys are a much more physical team. You guys hit the weight room. You guys, as a team, just feel like a different team.
Yeah, just during the offseason, we knew we wanted to get better. And one of the steps to get better is hitting the weight room, like you said, and it pays off. We're just feeling stronger.
What does going down and playing some of the tournaments that you played over the break and coming up here and playing St. Joe, what does that do to your guys' team to give you more confidence going into the playoffs?
Yeah, playing great teams out in Indy, it shows you what you can't do, because sometimes we're playing worse teams. You kind of get away with stuff, but it really just shows you what you need to focus on and work on to make you a better team.
Hey, congratulations, best of luck. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching the WHME TV-46 High School Basketball Game of the Week, brought to you by...
What a performance by the number 2 team in Class 3A tonight. The Northwood Panthers absolutely dominating here at South Bend's Alumni Gym as they beat St. Joseph by a count of 66-37. Welcome inside the Martin Supermarket broadcast booth with Bo Hunt, Chuck Freeby. Partner, we have not seen everybody yet. In fact, we're really looking forward to Friday night and seeing Penn and Marion. I am hard-pressed to think that there's a better team in the area than Northwood, but there may be.
It'd be hard-pressed to say that at this point, but, you know, we are going to see Marion and Penn this weekend. But up until this point, I don't think we've seen a better team and individual play by not just one guy, but by a couple of guys tonight.
You could really tell this group has worked together for quite some time. But picking a player of the game tonight was pretty easy. He was just 2 points away from his career high moments ago. Bo chatted with Northwood's Ian Rosh.
Stand by with player of the game, Ian Rosh. Ian, 23 tonight. Just talk about this victory and the Northwood Panthers tonight in this victory.
Yeah, well, we knew coming in that St. Joe was a tough opponent. We had to bring our A game, and that's what we did. We prepared well for them. In practice, we were just focused. And then we came out here, had high energy, and played as a team. Yeah.
You guys coming into this season, we knew you guys would be a great team. You guys are ranked second at this point. But we noticed the difference as commentators from last year. You guys are a much more physical team. You guys hit the weight room. You guys, as a team, just feel like a different team.
Yeah, just during the offseason, we knew we wanted to get better, and one of the steps to get better is hitting the weight room, like you said, and it pays off. We're just feeling stronger.
What does going down and playing some of the tournaments that you played over the break and coming up here and playing St. Joe, what does that do to your guys' team to give you more confidence going into the playoffs?
Yeah, playing great teams out in Indy, it shows you what you can't do, because sometimes we're playing worse teams. You kind of get away with stuff, but it really just shows you what you need to focus on and work on to make you a better team.
Hey, congratulations, best luck. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Thank you.
So many storylines for Northwood in this one tonight. Ian Rosh with 23, Cade Brenner with 21. They out-muscled and out-rebounded St. Joe. They defended St. Joe well and forced them into a poor shooting night. But I think the thing that sticks with me, and something we're going to see in a moment in our electrical workers, Local 153 electrifying play of the game, the cohesion of this Northwood group.
Their ability to pass the ball and know when each other's going to be on the floor and seeing it, and no-look passes and behind-the-back passes, whatever it is. They just know, they feel what the player is going to do, what their teammates are going to do in advance of when he does it. What I mean by that is when one guy moves, he knows what he's going to do on his next move.
So how about a no-look pass is our electrifying play of the game tonight from Electrical Workers Local 153. Cade Brenner, who was the recipient of many good dishes, makes a sweet one here to J.J. Payne for 2.
Just a great job of really having a presence on the floor. And what I really liked about that with Northwood is they just didn't have J.J. Payne running down the floor. They had another guy running down the other side of the floor, and they know how to have that separation, because you have to have that proper separation in order to make those passes and have those passing lanes as well.
They ran hard, they played hard, they shot with touch, they did everything you'd want a basketball team to do, and that's why Northwood prevails tonight by the final score of 66-39. Our thanks to our TV-46 crew who helped bring you this one, led by our production manager, Dean Korsmo. A reminder, college basketball is on the radio Thursday night. We've got Purdue going to Minnesota at 7 o'clock on 92.1 and 96.9. And then at 8:30 on 103.1 FM, it's Indiana at Illinois. And then the big one, Friday night from the Palace in Mishawaka. Top ranked in 3A, Marion visits the second-ranked team in 4A, the Penn Kingsmen. Live stream at 7:30 Eastern and show it on 46 Friday night, 11 Saturday morning at 9. Don't forget to follow us on social media. Now for my broadcast partner, the Hall of Famer Bo Hunt, it's Chuck Freeby. Once again, the final, Northwood 66, St. Joe 37. So long from South Bend.